All right, we've now been joined by our race winner, Joey Logano. Joey, congratulations on that win. Before we go to questions, if you don't mind, take us a little bit through that race from your vantage point and ultimately big points day for your team. Obviously a big day with the win, but you guys have really found your groove this summer. So just talk a little bit about kind of your thoughts and really what you're looking forward to over the next couple races.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's we've just able to ride some momentum here right now. It's been a nice turnaround. We've been able to switch our goals from making the chase to winning the championship, and so it's quite the turnaround in a month and a half's time or so. And I think it all kind of goes back to a little bit before Chicago probably, and we started to see some speed there. Wilkesboro we expected to be good, and was good, and then. Indy was strong. I look at the last month and a half, we've been capable of winning all of them. So it's nice to be able to run up front, get stage points. I mean, that's really the telltale sign of speed in a race car is how many stage points have you scored. And so been able to capitalize a lot on that here recently. So nice to be up front again. It's a lot more fun doing it this way. I can promise you that. So and tonight was a good race straight to the very, very end. Was able to run to 19 down there right before the last green flag cycle, get around him, and then pit the next lap. The boys did a good job on pit road, so the strategy was great. The pit stop was great, able to keep us ahead of him. And then I kind of thought I was going to be able to kind of cruise it in because we were so much better than him on the long haul the run before. And they made their car a lot better the last run there, and I was a little freer, and it got a lot closer than I thought it would be, and so ended up being quite the race to the finish. So just a good classic old school Richmond race with different strategies and execution. So those are the races that they're really fun as a racer to be a part of, and the purest NASCAR fans will absolutely love something like that. And hopefully TV was able to tell a good story on how it all happened and went down, because there was a lot of different storylines. It's fun to see all that stuff play out.
All right, we'll now go to questions. If you have a question for Joey, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll work to get to as many questions as we can, and we'll start up front with Randy.
Congratulations, Joey. Randy Holman from the Richmonder. Your crew chief a few minutes ago gave you high credit for being a morale builder and someone who helps keep morale high when it's difficult. Give us an idea of how important that is and how tough it might have been this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a realist, so I don't sugarcoat much, and Paul doesn't either. We have the tough conversations, and I said after Wilkesboro, I mean, we had the conversation of what do we do, right? Because something's not working, and I remember vividly telling him sitting in his office, and Paul, if I had the keys to this place and it had my name on the door, I don't know what I would do different. And that was a confusing, frustrating thing to say. Because I felt like I have all the right people around me. We just weren't winning or running well in that case, which is, kind of just confusing. It's head scratching. And so proud of everyone sticking together. Those are the times it's hard to do that. As times you see teams break. And, I'd say, it doesn't take much longer if we're running the way we were running until, something probably was going to break. So it's nice to see that we've been able to, make quite the recovery. And, like I said, change our goals at this point of the season to where we have a legit shot at winning this championship now. And so we're getting hot at the right time. So it'll be a fun chase to the end.
All right, Jordan, go ahead.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic, you mentioned you feel like you have a legit chance for the championship. This championship is probably ultimately going to be decided on mile-and-a-half racetracks. As great as you guys are on these type of tracks, where do you feel like you stack up, and is the path to the championship realistic for you, considering where Penske's been at on the mile-and-a-halves?
I feel like we've made some good gains. Right? Like I said, Indy, sure, it's a beast of its own, but got a car that's good enough to win that one. Chicago, we made some gains to where that last run of the race, we were a top 3 car. We just got there too late when it came to getting the balance right and getting the speed. So, yeah, I feel much better about it. Some of the rules that have been changed recently, I think helped us some, kind of brought some of the guys that were taking advantage of some of that stuff a little bit more back towards us. I think that helped. So I think, that on top of finding a couple things setup wise that made sense and to where we can get the car driving the way I want it. Took some time to get to that point to where I can get that feel that I want in the car. And it's just harder these days, right? We talk about it all the time without the practice and being able to sling springs and test and not be able to do all those things. It's hard to figure out what the magic button is to fix it. So, I think we eventually kind of hit on a couple things. It's like, okay, the world's round again. Everything makes sense and we can, move on.
It's an even year, right?
Yeah, I know. Here we come.
All right, Holly.
Hi, Joey. Holly came with the NASCAR wide receivers, kind of along those lines. If you had to pick a time in the season to start getting hot and feeling confident and having things go your way, I would imagine right before this whole thing starts, this is good timing to kind of carry this positive momentum.
Yeah, I wish we were a little better off in points than we are, but we're getting there, right? And we still got a couple more races where we can score a bunch of points next week in Louden. I feel confident in that racetrack. That's home, so that one's always a real special one for me. So hopefully we can bring this amount of speed again and execute like this again. Right? Like I said, even Iowa was strong. We had 2 seconds in the stages, and we just had that little hiccup on pit road that kept us from finishing top 3 probably. So things are good. I wish we were a little bit closer to the front right now, but I said before the season started, you got to be top 10. I said 7, but I kind of think you can probably recover more than I thought. I think in the top 10 you can make a serious run at winning this thing.
All right, go ahead.
Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Congratulations on the win, Joey. Now, as far as after you won stage 2, what was your mentality after stage 2, going into stage 3, and ultimately winning the race?
Here at Richmond, you have to play the smart game, right? This is the race where the smart team, smart driver wins. This isn't the hammer down type racetrack where the fastest driver who can just push their car the most wins. This isn't that type of racetrack. Those drivers pay a penalty for doing that. So it's all about managing and understanding what your car has in it, what you need in your car, and then how to manipulate the race the best you can as far as just when to push, when not to, when to save, understanding how the race is going to play out. Those things are important here.
All right, Davey, go ahead.
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM. Joey, there's probably some people in this room, in the garage, fans that are watching this all play out, and they're saying, oh my God, they're doing it again. He's doing it again. And you said it yourself. You sat with Paul and you said, I don't know what I would do different if I had the keys to fix it. So how are you doing this? What are you guys doing? Has anything changed?
I think everyone's just grinding away, right? Just you keep finding the little things, like I said. And, Paul's a great leader. I've said that many times, right? He's a silent leader, and every word has meaning behind it. When he does speak, there's no fluff, there's no sugarcoating. It's direct, and he commands respect as a leader like that. And I think with him, Joe Bisson, our engineer, is spectacular. He's been able to really help bring the cars to a lot faster and getting to where I need to. So I think between Joe and Paul, they've done a super job at getting us back in the game. On top of, just everyone at Team Penske just grinding away, right, trying to find that little bit more. I said some of the things that have stacked up, right, that kind of put us in this spot. So typically in racing, it's never one thing. Right, but I think there's 3 or 4 things that stacked up on top of each other at the same time that's brought our level of competitiveness to, this level now from where we were running 20th, 2 months ago.
I think this is also the first time that since your family expanded a little bit, everybody's been here to see you win. What was that like, celebrating with everybody?
Special moment to have everybody as a first win as our new larger family. And it was fun. So it's fun to get everybody up there and enjoy it. And it'll be quite the van ride home. We're going to leave in the morning, though. We're not going tonight. Too late. Dad can't drive that late.
All right, Tim, go ahead.
Tim Moore Motorsports Today. you became the 22nd driver in history to lead 10,000 laps here tonight with your win, and you also tied Rusty Wallace for the most wins with Team Penske. Can you just touch on how special that is for you?
I kind of forgot about that part. You know, Team Penske to me is like it's as home gets. Roger's been so loyal and so much fun to work with. Whether it's the racing side or recently with the dealership stuff, it's been a blast learning that side of the business from the king, right? The guy that knows it better than anybody. So, and he's buying me all the way. So he's a real special person. Him and Walt and Bud and Jonathan, Nelson, Geisler, all these guys are great leaders. Great people to be around. I've said it many times. You can't soar like an eagle when you're working with turkeys, and this is a great group of people that get the best out of me and challenge me, and doing it in the right way, in a professional way, and it's been fun to grow there as a human, right? Not just as a competitor, but to surround yourself with people that are just that level is going to make you better, right? You're the average of your 5 friends, right? And so I got some pretty good ones around me that helped me. So that's special for me.
And you talk about just the difference over the last month and a half of going from being on the cusp of making the chase to the championship, but big picture now you're 36 points out of 6th. Is that the next goal for you to go out there and chase?
I haven't had a chance to even look at it yet. But sure, that sounds good. I haven't looked at nothing to see who's around us or anything like that, but I do know that's a good start. So, sure, good, yeah. How far are we from like 4th, 5th? I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Nobody else knows in here either. They doing math. How good's your math? It's a lot of points in 2 races to make up. I have to have some wicked weekends, but maybe so. 56 from 5th. Yeah, well, I mean, it's possible. It's obviously pretty tough in 2 races in Daytona. It's quite the you never know situation, so, especially with the new package.
Hey, Joe, Eddie Kalegi Motorsports today. Congrats on the win. Looking away from the championship battle and kind of looking big picture at your history at Richmond, before this race, since 2019, you only had 2 finishes worse than 6th here, but obviously what had transpired here a couple of years ago, the encumbered win in 2017, there's been races where the result hasn't reflected in the end the speed you had. So how satisfying for you is just seeing the culmination today end in a win?
Yeah, honestly, I was rolling up here in the golf cart, and I said, that's 3 here. It should be like 6, maybe 7 or 8. As strong as we've been here, and you name it, it's happened here. So all the different kinds of things. So it's been quite the highlight reel for the 22 at Richmond.
All right, Jordan, go ahead.
Sorry. Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Most people don't want to know me. Has your mentality changed? I mean, let's say a month, 6 weeks ago, right? It was kind of just survival, just like get as many points we can and get in the chase. But as we just talked about, you're now 8th or 9th, you're moving up. Does the mentality now shift with the team of like, we don't really have to be as concerned about points a little bit, and now we can maybe do some things a little bit differently than we were?
Probably not, because you're still points racing. Right, like you're still, you want to win when you can. Like when you have nights like tonight, you try to take advantage of it. But you're still points racing, and you're going to be that way all the way to the end, because this is the new format. This is what everybody wanted. So here you go. You want points racing, you're going to get it. And so that's really what it's about now. So, you're not cautioned to the win like you used to be, whereas like all or nothing, win the race, get the playoff points and all that, or move into the next round, or locking yourself in, like all that's gone, right? It's about just consistency and points and being good every weekend. That's what this format is now. And so you never can really race differently from weekend to weekend.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, Joey. Evan from the Gazette Virginian. Congrats on the win. This is not my words, but the words of some on social media may call you the Mickey Mouse champion. Do you ever feel a
Gee,
fire
thanks.
in it? Not my words, others' words.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel a fire, especially with this new format and with you guys jumping and playing leapfrog in the points every single week now? Do you feel that extra fire to go out and get a what some would call a quote unquote legitimate championship, or do you kind of just focus on the big picture?
Well, to answer the question first, they're all legit. I don't care what the format is because everyone knew the rules when it started. Okay, so I'll say that first. Do I have a little chip on my shoulder? Yes, if that's a clear yes. So much that our little team slogan in our hauler on our little scoreboard is "For the haters." That's where we're at. So that's a good little extra motivation. So. Either way, the Mickey Mouse ears look good on the trophies either way, and the check was pretty cool to go with it, so I'm all right with it.
Go ahead.
Joey, Luke and Glover from Front Stretch. It's kind of ironic. Mark Martin dubbed you as the greatest thing since sliced bread when you were younger, and now you were one win away from tying him on the all-time wins list of 39th career victory today. When you look at the timeline of your career and then what's ahead, is there a benchmark that you're looking to get to, a certain target number, especially over the next couple of years?
No. I've never been one of those people that's like, I need to get to this unless it's my career is not complete. I'm literally looking at the hood pins here. Like, I want to win Louden. that's the next one. Like I've never looked that far. I never said I need to win this many championships or this many wins. It's like, I am somebody that plans way out in the future because that's the type of person I am. But when it comes to competing, it's really just about the next race and the next challenge ahead of you. And a lot of times, if you can handle the next challenge, the things that are far away in the future will come to you. Just takes time to do that. But I've never put that kind of pressure on myself, or because it's just so, I don't know, some of those things, I don't know, I guess early in my career, if you told me I'd have 39 wins, I'd say it's unachievable, right? Especially the first 3 years of my career. I'd just be excited to be running this many races, forget winning, right? The way it started. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool to hear these stats. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, Mark Martin's a complete legend in our sport, one of the best ever to do it. To even be associated closely in any way to Mark Martin, or, you guys said Rusty Wallace with the Team Penske wins. All those things are really, really special. Something that I don't take for granted. I think I'll think about it more when I am done than right now, because again, I'm still out the windshield and only at the hood pins, right? So maybe when I'm done, I can look in the mirror and reflect a little bit more.
All right, go ahead.
Thomas Hughes with Steering Wheel Nation. I'm curious, Joey, how have you seen the collective confidence grow in the number 22 team over this recent stretch, and then how has your confidence grown, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, the part that I'm most excited about is that, this team has gone through moments like this before. This one was probably more extreme than anyone we've been through, but we've been able to stick together, which is good. But also, like, when you do get the speed, we're able to show back up, right? Like, sometimes you can kind of lose a little bit of fire, right? You can get a little down. Right? I mean, we're human, and that's that attitude is contagious through the team. But every now and again, when you have a fast car, the last thing you want to do is lose it because everyone kind of let their guard down a little bit or just accepted defeat too much, right? Like, that can happen for the pit crew. That can happen for, the guys putting the cars together and not getting that last little bit when they're massaging the car to get that, last little piece of downforce or whatever it may be. Those parts and pieces that they're trying to get. If you just run 20th over and over again, that extra effort can go either way, right? You're either going to fight harder and try to make it up, or you're going to accept it and go, we're just a 20th place team. That's where we're going to be this year. We were in that spot where we can go either way, right? Like, we were there. And this team fought harder and kept trying to figure it out. And that's what, to me is one of the most impressive parts about this team. And a lot of that goes to, that we are the team that won the championships together, right? So we know we all can do it, which helps you a lot in those moments, to where I don't really have to say that much. Everybody knows we can do it because we've done it. So I think that, and just the experience on top of that, I I love them, but we got an older team. The guys have been doing this for a long, long time on this race team. It's quite the old school team, and I like that. We all gel pretty well together.
All right, go ahead.
Adam Cheek, Richmond Magazine. Joey, the point was made a few minutes ago about, it's been a minute since you've been here in Victory Lane at Richmond. Arguably should have had a few more wins there. But from a racecraft perspective, what works for you here, and what have been some of the biggest changes you've noticed over the years? The last time you won here was in the Gen 6 as opposed to the next gen.
I'll never tell you. Richmond doesn't change much. It's very consistent. It's also usually you see the same cars run good here every time, because once a driver or team kind of get a hold of this place, you're like locked in to being good here, right? Because it's a finicky place. It doesn't take much to be way off or good. And when a team and a driver can understand both, what you need to do to be fast for a short run, long run, how to manage the race, it ends up being the same cars almost every time. Tonight wasn't really any exception to that. You see the Gibbs cars, they've been faster for years. Old car, new car. Our cars have been strong, old car, new car. And the drivers, all the Penske cars ran really good tonight, which was great to see. I think once you get a hold of the place, you kind of got it.
All right. I know I didn't get to everyone's question, but it is late, and Joey still has some interviews he has to continue to do. So, thank you for coming in and spending some time with us, and best of luck next week in New Hampshire.
Appreciate it. Safe travels home. Thanks, guys.